A successful 2019 edition, Clever Clogs Books has concluded plans to host the second edition of the Akada Children's Book Festival, ACBF, on Friday the 30th and also Saturday the 31st of October 2020 online. Last year's event, which was held in partnership with the British Council, took place at the Council's premises in Lagos, Nigeria, with over 1,400 attendees participating in what is now recognized as Nigeria's first book festival specifically dedicated to children. Well, joining us now to discuss this and more is Olubunmi Aboderin-Talabi, author and founding publisher of Clever Clogs Books. Many thanks for joining us today on Newsday. The Akada Children's Book Festival coming up this weekend is recognized, I believe, for showcasing children's books written by African authors or books written by authors from around the world as well for a diverse audience of children. How did you decide on what direction to go with the festival and why?
So thank you very much for having me on this program. So it was because I noticed that there were a lot of book festivals for adults, but I couldn't find any for children. And I've seen the impact that these festivals can have on literacy, on the self-confidence that it can help children build. So I thought it'd be a good idea for us to have a children's book festival as well in Nigeria.
Okay, and you have been very vocal about the lack of diversity in children's books in Nigeria, especially the fact that books that have African themes are quite few. Have you seen any positive changes in children's literature since you started this? What needs to be done?
Yes, there's been a lot of change, and it's really delightful to see more people come out with books for children now, people that hadn't considered it before. And then also by creating this platform to showcase self-published authors, specifically self-published authors for children, we've come to discover more material that's been written, more culturally appropriate, more age-specific products that have been delivered, books that have been created for children in this region. So that's been a great boon, and it's been good to see. Last year, I think we had perhaps 9 or 10 authors. This year, we are featuring 20 different children's authors who are all published, and their work was vetted by the editorial committee and everything. And so it's good to see the growth in the industry.
All right. Last year you had more than 1,400 guests. That's quite some number.
Yes, I remember the venue.
Yeah. Let me just land with a question, if you let me. At the British Council in Lagos this year, the festival is taking what you call a virtual turn. How is that looking at this time, and what has been some of the pros and cons of hosting a virtual, two-day virtual festival?
Okay, so sorry, I missed a little bit of the question because we had a bit of a power outage here, but I think you're asking me about the difference between holding something online versus having
virtual.
Physical.
And then, of course, when you hosted it, 1,400 guests attending, that was quite some number with the British Council. Yeah.
So it's wonderful to actually move online. That behind every cloud, there's a silver lining. So even though we would have preferred to have had the event in person again this year, it simply isn't possible for social distancing reasons. So we migrated everything online. So the entire festival is online, and we've been able to replicate most of the program. So we still have all the book chats, all the book reviews, all the book readings, the author-led discussions, and so on and so forth, the children talking about their various books and why they love them, etc. And we've actually enhanced the program from last year. So this year we've added things like Giggle Box, which is comedy for kids. We've added Happy Tunes, which is sing-along for children. And we've even found a way to incorporate the fitness aspect. We had lots of outdoor activities last year in the garden, and we found a way to incorporate that in the program for this year as well. And what is most delightful is that because it is an online event, we are having registrations from across the world. So we have people from Mauritius, from Rwanda, from Kenya, from Ghana, from the United States, and from England. that have registered for this event. So it's really good to be able to reach Nigerians in the diaspora and people who are just interested in seeing children's literature written for a diverse audience of children.
Certainly, and 2020 has been a rather challenging year, I would say extremely challenging year for most. What are your thoughts about recent events in Lagos and across Nigeria, and why would you say it's important to have the Akada Children's Book Festival, especially at this time?
So I was, along with everybody else, completely horrified by the events of last Tuesday. And I was a little bit, I don't want to use the word paralyzed with fear, but not too far away from that, quite bewildered as to what was going on and what it portends for the country. I decided that I would meet with the team and we would discuss whether or not to go ahead with this year's event. And in the end, we were unequivocal in our decision. There was a unanimous decision that we should continue with the event because we feel that people need a break from the bad news, one, but two, we believe that the ability to read and having a love of books, a love for reading, will help enhance the ability to communicate. And when you are able to communicate, when you are exposed to lots of ideas, you're able to present your case in a manner that is more likely to be understood and accepted. In addition, you'll also be more familiar with your rights if you've taken the time to read. So reading starts right from an early age. You can encourage children to read right from an early age, and you can encourage them to read for fun. It doesn't just have to be textbooks. So we feel that it's actually a duty and a service to continue with this event, to continue to do what we know how to do in order to inspire children to read, so that at the end, as they grow up, as they grow into adults, they are well-versed, they are well-read, they understand their rights, they know how to express themselves, they have confidence in their ability to communicate, and so on and so forth. So yes, we made the decision to go ahead with the festival.
Improving the reading culture. Thank you so much, Olubunmi Abodarin Talabi, for coming on the show today.